straightforward as you've been. We haven't always agreed on everything, but we never did draw our guns on each other. Phil's just been a super employee. There's not enough I can say.
Y'all been like family to me down there and throughout the county. I'm looking for a daycare for my family all the way up from the commissioners down to the road departments and all. Yeah, I appreciate it all.
Okay. Glad to get it.
Phil, on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, we thank you as well for your service and your dedication to the county. And, you know, we're here for you if you need us. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to recognize Mr. Wayne Patrick. This is part of a quarterly report we get from the Property Appraisal Office, and he's going to update us on what's going on there. So, Wayne?
Guys, appreciate you having me up here today, and it's always a pleasure to come in and kind of let the public know a little bit about what's going on and answer some questions if you have them. The Juniper Court, we did have the hearing officer meeting on that today. It went pretty good. They had not made a decision yet, but I feel pretty good about how that went. That was the only one that was lingering from the 2018 appeals. So hopefully that one will be finalized within the next day or so. We did send the 2019 pre-build manufactured home digest out, and April 1st is the deadline on that. And we've only had just a handful of folks that even come in and appealed on that. Most people just go pay those bills, but that's went fairly smoothly too. So. The building permit line item right there, that's actually the building permits we have received, approximately about 700 of those, and at the time I reported is about 500 of those had been processed and looked at, so that's what those numbers mean on that item. January 1 to April 1 is the time for filing the returns, and filing for homestead too. At this time, to date, March 14th when I did this report, they had been 55 real property returns that had been made, and at the time 26 of those had been worked. These are items where people's changed something, maybe it's a name change, or they've added a building or something like that, and they come in and told us about it, or torn something down or removed something. They come in and tell us. And just briefly, I know I've probably said this to you guys before this time of year, but used to you file returns so that you'd be guaranteed to get an assessment notice, and that'd be whether your value changed. You know, if your value didn't change, used to you didn't get an assessment notice that year unless you filed a return. But now the laws changed; everybody gets an assessment notice, whether they file a return or not. But that still shouldn't deter anybody from, if they change something, coming in and letting us know during this time frame from January 1 to April 1. I believe, Mike, and I believe y'all put something in the paper for us earlier in the year about that and everything. So it just helps us to keep the records correct if folks can come in and let us know kind of what's going on out there. Have been quite a few applications made for homestead exemption at the time of this. Was 210. That's usually about average. Some fall off for whatever reasons, property sales, things like that. So that's usually pretty well about average of what happens each year. Just trying to look here on hit the high spots on this thing. If you have any questions about any part of the report, let me know. Do you remember what the total count we estimated would be for conservation this year? Yeah. Okay. Maybe Carly, I got it right there. Couldn't see it, but looking, we had estimated it'd be about 350 applications made for conservation use this year, and it looks like we're going to hit pretty close to that number on that. We've been working about 50 or so applications at each one of the board meetings, so far. And so with this last meeting coming up before assessments go out, mid-May will be the last meeting that we'll cover all those. That's all I can think about unless you guys have got questions.
Conservation use applications are due, if somebody's wanting to get in by Friday, is that right?
April 1st, yep.
So-
Now, there is another time period in lieu of filing an appeal, you can file for conservation also. So once the assessments go out, there's 45 days there that can, conservation can be applied for then. On that exemption thing, April 1st is the cutoff on it, but there still is another window for conservation use of something. Maybe it's a deed work or something didn't completely get finalized or something other time. People, like I say, in lieu of filing an appeal, can file for conservation during that time as well. We are on schedule to get the assessments out on time again this year, so.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, it says right here, total number of permits for 2019, 700. Is that from January 1 of 2019 to?
These are the permits that would have been there for January 1 of 19, so these are the ones that was taken in 2018.
Okay. So that's 2018 number?
Yeah.
Okay. It says 2019.
Yeah, it's for the 2019 tax year, why it states that. Good question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, county administrator's report.
I have none tonight, sir.
All right. Chairman's report, just wanted to announce here at the meeting, we had the opening day of Little League on the 19th. I'm sorry, not the 19th, 16th. Great turnout. Facilities were in great shape. Recreation staff deserves an attaboy for their efforts. And if you haven't heard, the Board of Commissioners, along with Hart County Little League and the Recreation Advisory Board, named Field Forward to New Park, Fletcher Seabolt Field, because of all the things he's done to support Hart County youth throughout the years. We felt like that was a very fitting tribute. So just wanted to announce that here tonight for those that weren't there for opening day. That's all I've got. Commissioners report, District 1.
Nothing, Mr. Chairman.
District 2.
Nothing, Mr. Chairman.
District 3.
Nothing, Mr. Chairman.
District 4.
Mr. Chairman, I got one thing I'd like to bring up tonight. Hart County had 16 students placed in the Skills USA last week in 9 different categories. We had 6 first place winners from Hart County in that competition. We had David Gavin, he took first place in automotive finishing technology. Tatiana Maxwell took first place in medical terminology. Ethan Sellers took first place in HVAC, which is air conditioning. Cassidy McCain, Logan Dowell, and Carter Hunt took first place in what they call chapter display. Now each one of these will go in June, go to Louisville, Kentucky to compete in the national. Second place, Julianne Mills and Gabriel Wilder won second place in additive manufacturing. Trinity Chastain, Emily Miller, Ansley Bailey in promotional bulletin board. Third place, Eric Blomberg, computer programming. Nikki, now you and I probably got this name wrong, but I'll do the best I can. Claire Rice and Jenna Vickery got third place in American Spirit. And in fifth place, Austin Crow in automotive brakes. I think we need to give them a round of applause. That's pretty humble to have that many people. Well, I have one really, but to have that many places, that's doing pretty good. That's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Moving on into the business part of the meeting, old business. First item on the agenda is bid opening for cardiac monitors for EMS.
We received 3 bids.
You might need that.
Have a bid from Hart Safe America Incorporated for $255,752.
I have one from Zora for $229,614. And then I have one for $207,271. And I have another one for same thing. How many marks is it? 8.
All right. This bid is from Stryker Emergency Care for $213,157.80.
Okay. This is purchase 8 monitors. Could I get a motion that we turn the bids over to county administrator for the recommendation? Have a motion by Commissioner Oglesby and a second by Commissioner Teasley. Any more discussion? Public comment? Not all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried unanimously. Next item on the agenda is FY19 LMIG safety grant that we were awarded. We've got to take action on this pretty much so tonight.
Correct. What I done, I took the list of roads we had at the last meeting and added District 4, didn't have but 1 or 2 roads, so I went back and added 3 or 4 more roads for District 4. And I put some guardrail in. I had the list of roads that was going to put in about 1,200 foot of guardrail.
You did put that in?
Correct, and that balanced it out to 100,000. We can make, huh?
So we accept the.
We can make tweaks in it as we go if we need to, but we just got to get justification when the road name's in by end of the month.
I'll second.
Some of these roads I don't think are wide enough to be striped.
We need to talk about a policy on the, in that area.
No
I know
motion and
at
a
one
second.
time,
but we'll get into discussion, so go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I had a motion and a second. We're in discussion.
One time, Dobbs Landing was on here.
It is.
Is it still on here?
That's
in this
correct.
one? Dobbs Landing, when we were riding around, if y'all remember, had put that damn.
Yeah, we need to get that leveled up some before we stripe it.
Yeah, that needs to be fixed.
Let me restate my motion. A motion that we move forward with this, that the roads that is there on here to be repaved or patched, that will not do those. And do them after we get those straightened out. But now to move forward with what he said, you gotta go and get it done. If you go ahead and move forward, the roads got to be striped. But not the one that got to be.
That's correct. We won't make the repairs to them. We got to make what we stripe.
Yeah.
I'll amend my second with that. Yeah.
Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Oglesby and a second by Commissioner Sayer. Any more discussion? I would just ask that we take anything that's not wide enough off this list.
Correct. And
I know
we can substitute other roads.
Okay.
Because we
I
got
just had to send them an amended
I ain't
list.
got a problem with that.
Okay. All right, with that being said, have a motion by Commissioner Oglesby, a second by Commissioner Sayer that we approve this LMIG safety grant. Any more discussion? Public comment? Not all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried unanimously.
But also on the other list, Dobbs Landing is listed on this other list as District 2, which is really District 4.
Yeah. John made that mistake. I got off his list.
I agree.
No, I'm sure that was my mistake and mine alone.
Next item on the agenda is credit for years of experience. Sheriff's Office, you've got a request in your packet from Sheriff Cleveland to give credit for 8 years' experience for newly hired deputy, which is in line with our policy. We typically make these retroactive to the hire date. Take a motion that that's what we do.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Carter, a second by Commissioner Teasley. Any more discussion? Public comment?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried unanimously.
And when was his first day? He just says. It was in this pay period, so.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is a LiDAR purchase.
Yeah, I got a visit from the new post commander at the State Patrol Post, Sergeant Alton Wilkins. He come to us with a request, and I broke down the numbers in your packet there. Their handheld unit is getting kind of old and in bad shape, and they requested if we would be interested in buying a new one and donating it to them, which is not normal. My counterparts in all other counties do the same thing. Most of them want $10,000 radars, but they're asking for $21.75, I believe.
$21.79.
$21.79.75 handheld LiDAR unit. And you can see the revenue produced there. We don't get to keep all that. We get a pretty good percentage of that revenue they get off the stretch of interstate using it.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion by Commissioner Oglesby to move forward with this purchase. A second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Carter. Any more discussion? Public comment? All in favor, raise your right hand.
I got, haven't we done this in the past?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, several years ago.
I thought we did. Yeah, we've done it.
Next item on the agenda is a request to use the courthouse grounds for the pre-4th by the Hartwell Service League. This is typical every year that we approve. Can I get a motion that we approve this for June 29th, 2019?
I'll make a motion that we approve this request to use courthouse grounds.
A motion by Commissioner Teasley. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Carter. Any more discussion?
We need to make sure it's in good shape.
Yeah, we've been working up there this week. Still got to trim the hedges and all. We got the trees trimmed.
Okay.
Thanks.
Public comment? Not all in favor, raise your right hand.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Motion carried unanimously. Next item on the agenda is a Patty Brown tax refund request. This is due to a double bill for 2 poultry houses. Taxes have been paid as acknowledged by the tax commissioner, and the error is noted also by the BOA chairman. These two following our protocol. Could I get a motion that we refund $837.07?
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Carter, second by Commissioner Teasley.
There's 2 of them.
You doing both of them at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And the other amount was $841.64. So, any more discussion? Public comment? Not all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried unanimously. That concludes the business part of our meeting. Now we'll move into public comment. If anybody would like to address the board, if you'll come forward to the podium. Anybody for public comment? Not, can I get a motion that we go into executive session for litigation?
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Oglesby, a second by Commissioner Sayer. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried unanimously. When we come back out, we'll get into the call meeting